Alright. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This is an exciting video. It's when we're actually getting the heads, the jugs and the heads put on. Now, I didn't record audio for this video simply because my buddy Lenny and I were kind of trying to stay focused on the task at hand without being distracted by recording. Again, I'm new to all this stuff, so I'm gonna kind of do a audio commentary voiceover of what we actually did, because some things were, as always, a little bit unorthodox or maybe not quite going with what the book says. So we did practice with the one jug, getting it on the rear jug off camera, which made it a lot easier to get the front jug on, but we still had a little bit of issues with the ring compressor system we used. Because I wasn't able to put the pistons in the jugs and then slide the piston and jug on and then put the wrist pin in because of these pistons, I couldn't use a normal ring compressor like the ones you find, the cheap ones you find on Amazon. So I actually had to go buy a two-piece one that clips on like so, and then you tighten it down like this. And I actually had to end up cutting this a little bit. So that's what we ended up doing. So it worked. It wasn't easy, but we did get it done. And like I said, I'm going to talk you through everything with the no audio on the videos. So let me know what you think. It may be a new style of video I may do every once in a while. Okay, as you can see, we have the rear jug already in place, and we are getting the front jug in. Now I'm using the handle of a dead blow hammer to sort of ease it down over the ring compressor. Now we kept having issues with this ring compressor hitting the studs and loosening and letting the rings come uncompressed. So we really had to do this a few times to get it in. And there was a couple times during this where we got over the first two compression rings, and then the last oil wiper ring decided to pop out, so we had to take the whole jug off and basically restart. We are just working it with a dead blow, gentle taps, being easy with it. This is one of those things where you really don't want to force anything. If everything's set up correctly, like it is right now, you'll see it slide down. And there we go, that's pretty much the last ring. And this is why I needed the two-piece ring compressing tool to get it off of the connecting rod. With the one piece, it would have been impossible to do that. There we go, pushing it down, seat it on. You can see Lenny in the back here holding the rear jug in place, because when we forced it down, it decided to try to pop up the rear jug. And this is us just testing and listening for everything to make sure there's no binding, no out of place noises, anything like that. And of course everything in here sounded good. There was no binding or anything, so we went ahead and decided to put the heads and everything on right after this. And this part, if you do this, you would need 2 people for it, because it keeps one to pop the jugs off because they're not held on by anything. At this point, we also put the forward jug at top dead center for when I do the cam chest. Alright, and these are the head gaskets we used. These are the multi-layer steel head gaskets from James Gaskets. I usually use copper spray when I put head gaskets on, but these ones specifically said do not use any sprays or anything. These gaskets were kind of pricey. They were a little over $50, but I've heard great things about them in the head gasket with high compression engines world, so I thought the money would be worth it. And here the front head is going on, the rear head's on as well. And I left the old spark plugs in place just to keep any debris from falling down in there. And the new cylinder screws are going in. And now when I put these cylinder screws on, I did use a little bit of engine oil on the inside of the threads. It helps them get torqued down correctly and evenly, and without any binding or anything. And now the torque sequence we went ahead and used on this is the torque sequence from the gasket manufacturer, not from the Harley-Davidson service manual. And this first iteration, it's a 4-step torquing sequence. The first one is 7 to 9 foot-pounds. And this torquing sequence is step 2, 12 to 15 foot-pounds. And my son hit the camera and knocked it over, and I didn't realize it until now. So sorry for this angle. And then the third torquing sequence is 19 to 25 foot-pounds. And the fourth and final torquing step is 38 to 42 foot-pounds. I think we settled right at 40, right in the middle. And double checked everything once everything was torqued down. Okay guys, as always, thanks for watching. This was the first time I've ever done anything like this to a Harley. So definitely a learning experience. Good to have the help of a friend and the help of the service manual on hand. Again, let me know what you think about the voiceover video. First time doing that as well. I'm definitely glad I had someone help me with this, because it would have been kind of tricky to do a lot of this with just one person. So keep that in mind whenever you're wrenching. Have a friend or at least a neighbor you get along with. Big things coming. Next week's video is going to be the cam chest reassembly, putting the cam plate back in, the oil pump in, and then doing the timing on those as well. That's a good video. Again, I learned a lot doing that. And I didn't specifically go off the service manual instructions. I used a lot of the fueling parts literature that came with the parts, which is, to me, a lot more detailed and a lot better, especially since I'm using the fueling parts. They may have a different specification than what the Harley parts call for in the manual. Stay tuned for next week's video. It's going to be a good one. Comment, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. It's really appreciated, guys. I'm just having fun out here, but hopefully I'm letting someone else learn something while I'm learning something.